If you want to see how to actually move your images from looking this way to this way, or generally understand how you can make the sky comfortably, add realistic flare and balance up your image both in contrast and then colors, when you are done editing them, it will be easier for you to watch this video and find out. So if you have been here for the first time, or you've been here for the first time, check this channel out, subscribe, turn on your post notification for whenever videos are going to drop, you will see them first. So don't forget to do what? Subscribe. If possible, share, drop a comment, and always remember to like the video. It will make YouTube recommend it to more persons to see what we are doing here, and you also enjoy the dividends when the channel grows. So let's get straight into the video. So here today we're going to find a way to get to move this image that looks this way and make it a little bit more aesthetic, appealing to the eye, and give it more life. So this is originally how the image looks like without any form of aesthetic or anything to beautify it more. It's been retouched. If you come down here, you see that I've retouched it. I've done the necessary things. I've actually cleaned the background. See how it was originally. So I cleaned the background and the persons that were here. This are the persons that were here. Here. I had people sitting down here and other things around. So I cleaned it up. Now I retouched, which wasn't really much, and I did some other removals. So I'm going to show you how to convert this image from looking this way to looking this way. That is, add the sky, add the flare, and make it look more interesting. So let us get into it. So what we're going to do first is sky replacement before anything starts. You have to create an empty layer first. Use an empty layer, a fresh layer, stamp visible, Ctrl Shift Alternate E. You have this layer. You now come to edit. You come down to sky replacement. You click sky replacement and you watch it load. When it loads, you see this. It will give you options of various skies. You see the various options. Now this is supposed to be sunset. So now we're going to look for a kind of sky that will speak as sky for sunset. So now it has a different section. So you see down here, you see sunset. This is evening time around 5 or 6 o'clock. So we should go for a kind of sky that will suit that time of the day. So I'll just scroll through, and the type of image you have here, the colors here are not so much. So we need to get a sky that is not too saturated. So I'm going to go for this sky down here. So I'll click this one. Now to look at the environment and place it according to where the sky is supposed to be. It cannot come down to the people and do anything to them. So now when I place it there, as you can see, I'm going to place it there like this. What am I going to do next? I'll just come down here, just click, and then click my OK. By default, it will set other things up. See what it will do. You can even improve the temperature, like see temperature either to this way or this way, anyhow you want to do it. So you can scale and check. You can even improve the brightness. You can feather the edges to make it not to look like something that was actually cropped, and make it look more original. That is what this thing can do. So you can actually play with this panel to see what you fancy. Then I'll click my enter, and it has actually replaced itself. So let's see what we have here. This is the before and this is the after. This is the before and this is the after. This is what it looks like right now. So the next thing we're going to do after doing this right now is to first of all come again. So we're going to come to this place where we have the sky. Come to this place where we have the sky. I'll come to my blur radius. I'll come to blur. Come down to Gaussian blur. I'm going to actually add a touch of Gaussian blur. Let me say 10. Let me say 10. So 10 is much. Let's come down and see 5. Now, reason being that this sky is distant from the people that are here. It's not supposed to have the same texture or sharpness like the persons in the frame. So I'll click enter, click OK. The sky will actually look more distant and realistic than if you just add it without blurring it and making it look more original. Then I'll come down to this place where the edges, like this is the masking side where it was masking. You know, this was done with AI. So I'll come to my properties, come here. I'll come to the edges, come to this feather. I'll feather it to at least, let me say 3. I'll feather it to 3 so that it will look original. It won't look like something that was just cropped in like that. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the before and this is the after, before and after. Now the next thing we're going to do is to add the flare to give it the beauty, just like we have here. You can see this flare standing here. See this flare here. We need to add this flare to make it look like an actual sunset. So I'll come down to this place. Normally, when the sun is setting, normally if you look at the places around here, you see that the best place to place this thing is usually somewhere around here, this area like this. So we're going to use this place as our point where we're going to assume that the sun will set from, or the flare of the sun that is setting will come from. So what we're going to do next is to create a stamp visible layer, Control Shift Alternate E. Again, when we create it now, we'll convert it to Smart Object. Convert to Smart Object. This Smart Object conversion actually makes it easier for you to change or make any adjustments anytime. So what I'm going to do, I'll now come to Filter, come down to Render, come to Lens Flare. When I come to Lens Flare, I'm going to move it to that point where we have actually figured out should be the point where the reflection of the sun is supposed to come from. If you take it up this way, it gets brighter. If you take it down this way, it gets darker. See? So let's keep it somewhere at 100. Click your enter. You see the reflection here. If you zoom in, see the reflection here, but this doesn't really sit right with me. I'll now double tap on this lens flare. Again, double tap. I'll now come and move it further. Move it. Let it sit well with me. Let it sit well. Good. I'll click OK. I think I'm okay with it sitting at this junction. Once it sits here like this, the next thing you have to do is to actually find a way to bring in a kind of coloration that will match this as an actual sunset. This exposure or lighting situation looks too white and I don't like it. So what do you do next? You come to your field, to your adjustment, you come to gradient. When you get to gradient, you come to radial gradient. You will move the radial gradient to that point where the sun is setting. So I'm going to take this down to 50%. Let it not be too large. You know, the more you take it down, the lesser. See, you adjust. See, so we take it up again. Let's keep it at 40. At 40 will be good. Then you now double tap this gradient now to improve the color and match what we have. So I'm going to tap this. Now, what type of color do you have during sunset? Majorly very kind of warm colors, deep warm colors. I've selected the first one. Now come to this tab again, double tap. I'll come again and choose something a little reddish, more reddish. Okay, let me come down here. I'll click OK. Now, see what we have here. You click OK. Let me improve this further. Let me take it down to 50%. When it's at 50%, I'll click my OK. Then after this, I'll now come and change my blend mode. See screen. See soft light, overlay. You check. I'll change to screen. That's the first thing I'll change. I'll change the blend mode to screen. This is the first alteration. I'll go further again and click create an empty layer. Very empty. Nothing is there. When I create this empty layer, the next thing I'll do is to come and pick up my brush. This is my brush down here. Pick up this brush and I'll come to this foreground color. I'll come and pick color like this, sunset color, which is a very warm color. And I'll come open up my brush to a reasonable extent, the middle, stamp. When I stamp this, I'll first of all change the blend mode to overlay. That's the blend mode I'll change it to. So at overlay, I'll now click my Ctrl T to expand the intensity of this. So when I expand the intensity, see what it's going to look like. And I'm okay. Keep it in the middle. Once it enters like this, let us put all these things in a group and see what it looks like. Okay, Ctrl G. This is what we have before and after. Before and after. And automatically we've created a realistic sunset look for an image. And it's very, very important that when you're doing this now, you should understand the temperature you're working with. And then after you're done, you have to blend the colors that are available. Now, if you come here now, there's a chance that this, and this makes the image warm. So what I'll do is I will generally come to my color balance. Come to color balance. I'll come to this place, take this down a little, my midtones, come to my shadows, take it up a little, and then I'll now come and bring these two, and then come here, select them, the bride and the groom in the frame. Come and expose them a little, make them a little brighter, so that they'll be more focused in the frame. Now, when you get to the point where you want to actually separate the subjects from the environment, this point, you just want to make them a little bit more exposed than the actual environment and the factors around the environment. So what are we going to do? When I come and choose this, zoom in, you see that the edges, see, I've put them here at this junction. You can see that they are brighter than every part of the environment. So Control 0, and I click my enter. So we want to have them more focused in the background. So we have to come and feather this mask here by coming to properties. When we come to properties, we click this mask again, and then we feather it by 30. And we zoom in to see the edges. See, the edges are gone. So there is something we didn't do, and that is to mask out a percentage of that flare on the skin of the bride and the groom. So as you can see here, the groom has a percentage of the flare on his skin. So I'm going to remove it. Turn your foreground color to black. See this? Come down to her face. Come down, do this. See, let's just look around. Where don't we like it? I think I'm good. So far so good. We have just turned this to a more beautiful and aesthetically appealing image, from looking dull to something very lively. So I'll add a little contrast, just like 5, and I think I'm good. To shadow, expose a little. So this is how our image was originally. Without this is our image, but what we did right now has given more life, more depth, and more beauty to the image. So you can experiment this for your next images, but don't forget to subscribe, like, and then turn on your post notifications so that when things like this come up, you'll see it and you will join us and you will learn. See you in the next one.